Here we are to review another match on cricket.com with Graeme Smith this time around, and it is Royals who've got off to a flying start in IPL 2022 to courtesy a 61-run win. We'll bring it all for you. Don't go anywhere. Graeme Smith, I'm guessing dinner would have tasted way better with the Royals up and running right now.
Yeah, it went down beautifully. A really outstanding game from the Royals. When they were put into bat, as we predicted, the surface would have a little bit in it, and a bit of luck to start with the no balls. And once they got off to that solid start, it was set up beautifully for the likes of Samson and the rest of the batters.
Right, how do we look at this? Because the Rajasthan middle order were exceptional. Their 3, 4 and 5 came to the party indeed. But was it a case of SRH missing someone like Rashid Khan? Because the spinners went for runs, to say the least.
Yeah, Washington really struggled tonight. There wasn't a lot of spin in there for him, so he had to be really accurate stump to stump, which he didn't do. I mean, for SRH, they've got so used to having Rashid in that middle overs and at key times in the game. It's going to be a challenge for them now to find someone to replace that. But I think where they struggled is they needed early wickets on that type of surface. We saw the Royals do it. They hit the good areas, a little bit of swing. Boovy's no ball cost them. Suddenly if you have a team 2 or 3 down in that power play, when the surface is offering you a bit of pace, bounce and swing, it really can change the landscape. But once the Royals got a solid start, it was really set up for the power play towards the back end. The base was set for them to just strike.
Absolutely. Now, one man who came to the party was the captain, Sanju Samson. Remember, he had his best season last year in terms of a batsman. It was his debut season as a captain as well, so he's taken the responsibility amazingly well. The question begs, is Sanju Samson 2.0 ready for international cricket, Smithy?
Well, I mean, he seems to do, like last year's IPL really stepped up, just looks an all-round player now. It's just, he's obviously up against some very quality players in that Indian lineup. I'm not too sure how he goes in the domestic formats and the 4-day competitions and the 1-day competitions in India, but certainly in the IPL, with the leadership and the extra responsibility at the Royals, he's looking like he's got a wonderful all-round game. So the platform was there for him to really pounce and make the most of his career.
Yeah, you talk about Sanju Samson with a bat in hand, but for the ball in hand, from a Rajasthan perspective, was Prasidh Krishna, who was absolutely exceptional, and that's an understatement too. Are we seeing India's next genuine all-format specialist?
I hope so. I mean, he bowled with pace tonight. He got the ball to swing. I think he used the conditions beautifully. I think the challenge for Prasidh is going to be, as things get slightly drier in these surfaces, as the conditions in India get hotter and spin and starts to play more of a role, and the wickets get flatter, how he adapts to that from a skill perspective. But tonight, all he had to do was bowl quick, get the basics right, that top of off stump with a little bit of a waist shape, and didn't he do that well? So it looks like he's got all the capabilities to be an excellent prospect for India into the future.
All right, and what about Hyderabad? Because look, they kind of wanted to extend their batting depth, and they got Romario Shepherd in place of your compatriot Marco Jansen. In retrospect, did they end up losing on both fronts, you feel?
I think so. They probably went for the slightly better batter. Jansen's batting is still a little bit away. He's got potential. But certainly from a bowling perspective, Jansen would have added a lot of firepower with that new ball on this type of surface. So, they needed to strike. One of the things we raised in our pre-match was that maybe they're slightly too defensive as a bowling unit. Jansen could have changed that for him. He is a wicket taker. He's 6'8" and can open a game up. So, yeah, I think really a lot of question marks for SRH. I think tactically with the bat, the way they Puran, I think, was in too early. I would swap, Markram. Become more sort of situational batting. I think there against the new ball, Puran was always going to struggle on a fast bounce, swinging surface. But another day when it's flat, send him in at 4 and let him go and take it on. So don't be too predictable. And look at the game, read the situation, and make informed decisions.
All right, finally, to wrap up this review, you were kind of skeptical making a prediction before this match as a Royals fan, of course, but do you get more confidence seeing this fantastic performance to start their campaign?
Well, I think the reason why we chose the Royals really stood out today. I mean, yes, their top 4 batting was outstanding. They set the game up. But you could just see the difference in the bowling unit and the execution, the skill of Bolt, Prasidh Krishna. I actually think through the tournament, Ashwin and Chahal are going to be brilliant. The one question mark for them there is going to be Colton Nile. That third seamer thing option that we discussed, that's something they're going to have to solve. But lots of high-quality bowling options for them, which I think gives them a slight edge in what is I expect to be a very tight tournament.
All right, and going by a record so far, the predictions, you've got 2-2, 100% record, so maybe we should call you Graeme Nostradamus Smith, but that's for another day. Thank you so much for joining us from South Africa for this one. We'll catch you soon, Smithy.
Thank you. Long may it continue.